Ok, me avisan cuando empiecen a grabar para comenzar.
Yo ya empecé.
Permítame. Voy a cargar mi combo porque me está descargando. Gracias. Listo, ahora sí.
¿Listo? Ok. ¿Ya comenzaron?
Listo.
Sí.
Okay. Bueno. Good morning, everyone. Today we're here to debate whether death penalty should be legal. My name is Maria Fernanda Garcia, and it is my pleasure to be your moderator for today. Now, let me present today's speakers. Starting with the side in favor of the death penalty, we have Jesus Antonio Guevara and Ian Lopez. Against the death penalty, we have Juan Pablo Altamarino and Jose Antonio Lorenzo. We should know that the history of death penalty goes back nearly 4,000 years. Major arguments against the death penalty focus on its inhumaneness, lack of deterrent effect, continuing racial and economic biases, and irreversibility. Proponents argue that it represents a just retribution for certain crimes. It deters crime, protects society, and preserves the moral order. Now, who would like to speak first? Go ahead, Juan Pablo.
Thank you very much for the introduction. As we have stated, I am against the death penalty. I believe that the death penalty has never been proven to be a viable form of crime control. All studies show that the death penalty is not very effective and that there are better ways to control crime. Killing prisoners is more revenge than justice and goes against the most basic human right, the right to life.
Thank you very much, Juan Pablo. Who in favor would like to start? Jesus Antonio, go ahead.
As in favor, the death penalty should be legal, but only in specific cases of crimes, like murder, where the criminal has committed 2 or more homicides or has 1 or more life sentences about the same crime. This sentence is applied with evidence of the crime respecting the law and a fair trial for this criminal.
Thank you very much, Jesus Antonio. Who would like to continue? Go ahead, Jose Lorenzo.
Yes, as it's been stated, I'm also against the death penalty, and this is because, as Juan Pablo said, it has never been proven to really fix anything. And also, I think that everyone should have a second chance to improve themselves. So with the death penalty, that is simply impossible. If what we want is to reduce the amount of violence and violent crimes, I think that we should look elsewhere to fix the problem.
Thank you so much, Jose Lorenzo. Ian Lopez, would you like to state something?
Yes, I believe that a person who invades the right to live of somebody else automatically loses the right to do so themselves. And death penalty can be the only way in which we can be assured that a person will not commit a major crime ever again.
Thank you very much. Is someone against death penalty that would like to add something on what Ian said? Juan Pablo, go ahead.
Thank you very much. I believe that one of the most critical points that we have to understand to be against death penalty is that most criminals who commit murder or offenses so serious that the death penalty should be considered suffer from mental health, and they can't be judged with a crime if they suffer from mental health, and they have to receive the psychological treatment. And this is very important because someone that have been abused and suffered trauma should receive the medical help he needs instead of being killed.
Thank you very much. Is someone in favor of the death penalty ready to speak? Jesus Antonio, go ahead.
Well, I think that this type of sentence are issued to people who represent a danger in society, in order to stop crimes and make justice for the victims.
Thank you. I would like to add something to what Jesus Antonio said. Did you know that statistical studies that have compared the murder rates of jurisdictions with and without the death penalty have actually shown that the rate of murder is not related to whether the death penalty is enforced? So if someone in favor of the death penalty would like to add something to what I just said, or should we continue with decide that? Okay, Ian, go ahead.
I would like to add that we can see it as a form to help and benefit society. I would like to also reinforce and shine a light upon the families of the people who were murdered, since these processes almost seem like they are protecting the people who may have taken away a loved one from their family. So, well, we could also impact the rate of crimes worldwide. A big point on that penalty would be bringing closure to the person's family, in order to finally know that justice has been served and that their loved one can rest in peace.
Thank you so much, Ian. Decide against death penalty. Who would like to participate? Jose Lorenzo, go ahead.
I think that it is understandable that a family will want to seek justice in the form of the death penalty for those who have been killed. But I think that really this does not breed anything positive. A lot of these people, and how it's been mentioned before, they come from similar backgrounds in which psychologically they are not as stable as someone who would maybe come from a better socioeconomic background. So really what we want is to improve. We should look into the people's backgrounds and look to rehabilitate them. Because really, if you were to just kill them, maybe that family would feel as if justice has not been served. But what would end up happening is that maybe some other person is gonna kill some other member of a family, and it's just gonna keep on going until we actually address the problem at its root. So, yeah.
Thank you very much, Jose. So don't you think that the punishment should match the crime, so that there's more moral balance to what the criminal has done? Go ahead, Juan Pablo.
Thank you very much. Just to bring back the topic you said about states in the United States with the death penalty having more crime than those states with not death penalty. From every 100,000, 5.5 murders occur in states with death penalty, and in states without the death penalty, that is 3.6. So we can see that the death penalty doesn't stop the rate of murder. So this is a critical point, as you remarked.
Thank you very much, Juan Pablo. Someone from the side in favor? Jesus Antonio, you may continue.
But like Ian said, it's the death penalty is a form of justice for victims and families of the victims whose loved ones were unjustly taken away. And in order to prevent these acts and prevent future damage for this city.
Thank you very much, Jesus Antonio. So, did you know that out of 19,000 people who committed homicides in the US in 1987, only 293 were sentenced to death? And who are these people that were selected to die? They're nearly always poor, Black, brown people. So, don't you think it would be, it's not actually justice what's being applied here?
Well, the death penalty cases are not easily applied. These cases are studied based on the crimes that a person has committed. The psychological studies of the same, and they are dedicated in a trial where the judge and the jury will be the ones who decide on the criminal based on the evidence that exists.
Thank you very much, Ian. Ian, would you like to add something to what your partner said?
Yes, I'd like to add in regard to of what you just said, because, well, it is true that a lot of statistics prove that maybe some people can get wrongfully determine the death penalty. It is not a flaw in the death penalty itself. It's a flaw in the justice system. And of course, either with death penalty or life sentences, people can get always wrongfully convicted of crimes that they did not commit, or that they can get like a punishment that does not match the crime at all based on their religion, sexuality, or race. So, of course, it is a point that it is crucial to work, but it is from the root in the justice system, not in the death penalty itself. So, we believe that if the justice system gets rightfully executed, death penalty could be a really viable solution for the victims, since, as I stated, a person that invades the right to live of somebody else should not get their own right to live respected if they do not respect somebody else's.
Thank you very much, Ian. Juan Pablo, do you want to add something?
Yes, thank you. To answer the first point they said, I don't believe that killing a man or a woman that took a life will bring back the victim. I don't believe that will actually bring closure to the family. A life for a life is not a solution. And I don't believe that you can make a right with two wrongs. Now, to talk about the justice system, something that we have been seeing is that new evidence is being brought, thank you to the advances of technology. We can see that many people are being arrested for crimes they did in the past because of DNA, and many people are being exonerated from crimes because DNA have proven that they didn't do it. So seeing that the justice system can make wrong decisions, and it can be manipulated by your race, your gender, your sexuality, what do you believe of those people that have been cleared from all charges after spending 10, 20 years in jail? And what if one of them was executed before evidence showed that he didn't do it? Thank you.
Thank you very much. Someone from the side in favor?
Yeah, as I said, it is clear and time has proven that the system is flawed. And it is like evident that some people get like convicted or get sentenced to punishments to crimes that they either did not commit, or there is a racial or religiously orientated punishment that exceeds the like does not match the crime. And as I said, this is an aspect of the justice system that must be uh, like addressed like a separate topic of death penalty, and they should be treated like two individual problems. In focusing on death penalty, assuming the system is working as it should, we would be helping the society to reduce the crime rates, and making the people actually fear the death sentence, knowing that there's no chance that they could like get free of it when they deserve it, thanks to their race, religion, or etc.
Thank you very much, Ian. So, do you guys think that the famous quote, "an eye for an eye," is appropriate in this case? Who would like to add something, give their opinion on that? Jesus Antonio?
Yes, well, one of the main purpose of the death penalty is to prevent a person who has committed terrible crimes from doing it again.
Okay, thank you very much. Jose Lorenzo?
There is more than one way to prevent someone from committing a crime like that. There are sentences, life sentences, and there's rehabilitation. So really, why would you kill someone and take away that opportunity? And also, as it was being said before, the justice system is flawed. So if it is flawed, and and it's been accepted already, and it's been mentioned just now, that there is a bias regarding religion, race, classism, then why would you even leave any wiggle room for someone who is innocent to die? If there are other sentences that can also be fair and improve the situation.
Thank you very much. Juan Pablo, would you like to add to that?
Yes, thank you very much. As my colleague Ian said, he said, by making people fear the death penalty. Well, if you make people fear the death penalty, you can manipulate them to confess over the fear of getting it. There's been many cases where the prosecutor tells the victim that if he confesses, he would only get life in prison. But if they go to trial, they're gonna go to try to get the death penalty. And even if they're innocent, because they fear the death penalty, they accept that they're and they sign a confession just based on the fear. So no, I don't believe that a fair justice system can be taking place when you manipulate people with in that fear of losing their life. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Juan Pablo. But what about the victim's family? They may live in constant fear that the perpetrator will get out of prison and continue doing awful crimes. So if that's the case, how do you think that death penalty, I'm sorry, it's not the viable option here? Juan Pablo.
Thank you. Well, it obviously is a problem that the murderer, or in this case, the person who committed a crime, can get a good lawyer and maybe get released. That is a problem, and that does happen. But if you kill the person, you're no different than him. What's the real reason between taking a life with a shot in the dark than with a injection? Where's the room to say who did it correctly and who didn't, if at the end the result is basically the same? That's my opinion.
Thank you so much, Juan Pablo. If someone from the side in favor would like to add something? Yes,
I
Ian.
would like to add something in regards to what Jose said earlier. And yeah, while there are many other alternatives to death penalty, in the end of the day, it comes from and it is sustained by taxes. And I don't think the correct way of helping a family gain closure and feel the sense of justice is to make them pay for the rehabilitation of their loved ones more. Well, since the process of rehabilitation or sentence or whichever process it is, it it's almost always sustained by taxes, and those taxes are paid by the same people who got a life taken away from them.
Okay, thank you very much, Ian. Would someone else like to add something? Yes, Jose.
Yes, I would like to respond. I mean, even if it goes to the death penalty, you still have to pay taxes. And the shots that are used for the death penalty, they aren't cheap at all. Mostly they are imported from Europe, and Europe and the European Union has even banned the import of these shots because they deem the death penalty too inhumane. So really, in terms of taxes, you're gonna have to pay anyway. And also, when you are an inmate in death row, it's not like you're there for like a couple weeks. You're probably gonna be there for quite a few years before you can even actually die. So really, either way, you're gonna have to pay a lot of money, or taxpayer money. A lot of taxpayer money is gonna be used anyway.
Thank you very much, Jose. Would anyone else like to add something, or are we ready to close the debate for today? Okay, I think we may be done here. I would like to thank everyone that participated today. It was definitely a very good debate with a lot of facts and opinions. I think it is incredible how we have been discussing this this topic for a quite long time, not only us, of course, but through the years. And well, I think it's a matter of moral opinion and many other facts that continue to be in this topic. But well, thank you very much to every participant. We're done for today.
Thank you to the colleagues and the moderator.
Thank you.
Thank you.